Hello everyone, Chocolo Roberto here for another video review. This time it is celebrations. I guess they're Mars celebrations is the general brand, but they basically consist of a variety of regular chocolates: Mars, Bounty, Galaxy, Galaxy Caramel, Maltesers, Twix, Milky Way and Snickers. Not too bad. So I think they've changed roughly over the years. They used to have a Galaxy Truffle in there, which I did think was good. Not quite sure what they've replaced it with, but yeah. Anyway, not too bad. I think they posted with the Twix actually, I think, which is okay, I guess. But I did like the truffle, but it's quite nice. Right, so you can see the various brands in there. It says dive in on the back, and 8 famous brands. There we go. It's basically a selection box. It's just a bit so. It's quite a small. This is a comparable box to some of the other ones out there, but it actually weighs a lot less, I think, than the Cadbury's Heroes equivalent. They come in tubs and things like that, but this one's obviously the mini tub, I guess, mini box. Okay, so basically it says portions per pack 8, portion size 27.3 grams. I'm not sure what that means, but the gist of it is. I don't quite get what that's talking about. I mean, okay, so it seems that a portion is roughly, it's just over a quarter of the box anyway. So I'm assuming it's 240 grams. So I'm assuming from that you're basically getting. Yeah, 5. I'm guessing you're getting about 12 portions in the box, or 11 maybe. I'm not sure. That can't be right, can it? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, okay, let's have a look. We'll work it out in a bit anyway. But the gist of it is per 100 grams, 494 calories, 24.4 grams of fat, 14.4 which is saturates. So it's a 240 gram box. So essentially you're getting. We'll just say 500 calories for 100. So basically getting 1,000 calories plus 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So if I was, about 1,200 calories pretty much for the whole thing. Fat, 24.4 grams of fat. So again, so we're getting about, so it's 49. Roughly 49 grams of fat, plus, hang on a second, 49, 24, it's like it's difficult to work out really, 12, 49, 10. So I'm roughly working this out, about 59 grams of fat, I'd say, roughly. As I say, I'm not going into too mathematical terms, but 40.4 grams of fat per 100, so that's roughly again, it'll be 29, plus again roughly 7 plus 6 maybe, about 35 grams of saturated fat, roughly. I'll say, but they don't really work it out very easy. They don't make it easy to work out really, which is stupid. So I kind of like to highlight that fact really. I think I could work it out in advance, but I don't think that's not really how people do it. So, okay, let's have a look on the inside. So it's a bit of a weird. I don't quite know how you. I could just rip it apart, but I don't know quite how you're meant to get into this. So some strange tab things on top. They've got like a perforated edge, so I guess you perforate them. Okay. No, it's just got a plastic top. Okay. So there we go. Right. Okay, so here we go. So let's have a look, work out the distribution. So, right. So I'll bring them to the top of it. So hopefully we've got a good distribution, even distribution. The Cadbury's Heroes was terrible, really. You had like 2 12s and 6 Twisteds or whatever. I can already tell we're not really, because we've got 2 caramels and 2 Marses here. would say Maltese are probably not the strongest in the box, but we've got loads of Bounties. I mean, who eats these Bounties? Right, we've got 6 Bounties, 3 Milky Ways, 3 Twixes, 3 Maltesers, 2 Maltesers, 2 Caramels, 3 of these, 3 Galaxy, just Galaxy Segments, and 4 Snickers. So we've got 6, 2 Maltesers, 6 of these, 2 of these caramels. So basically 3 for most of them for some reason. So it's a bit terrible that really, isn't it? I mean, just take one of each of these away and put 4 on the others or something. So it's a bit rubbish. Not too impressed with that. I mean, if you like the caramels or you like the Maltesers, you're not going to get one, are you really? So again, a bit disappointing. So apparently there's 8 portions in here. So I'm not sure how many chocolates are there. 3, 6, 12, 14, 17, 20, 26, 6, 12, 18, 24. So it's 3 chocolates is a portion, is the way it is. So per 3 chocolates, so I'll give you a pretty precise here, it's 135 calories, 6.7 grams of fat, 3.9 of which are saturates, 4, 8, 12, 3, 19, so 45, 90. So it's about, basically, it's 45 calories of chocolate, is roughly. Okay, so right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put the excess away, so we can just concentrate on the task at hand. So these are basically all segments of the chocolate generally, of each of these chocolates. So you've got like a bit of Twix or like one segment of Galaxy Caramel, as a gist of it. So some of them are better than others. So there's a few different types here. So there's 8 types. That's not too bad. I would definitely say some better than others. I think for me, Milky Way and Bounty definitely lower ones. Yeah, and then we've probably got a middle tier of, maybe a couple, maybe those 2 fringing. I don't know. I think the Maltese one's really nice. So I think you've got like a sort of bottom tier of those 2. Maybe then the Snickers one's quite nice actually. So maybe that does promote a bit. Maybe you've got these clouding around the middle tier, maybe with this one half on the edge, and then the Maltese one probably being the nicest. I think is the gist of it generally. So you used to have the Galaxy Truffle, which was instead of the Twix, and that was one of them up here as well. It was just different. It was just really nice. But okay, so I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll start off with the Bounty. So basically, it's coconut. I don't know if it really doesn't actually tell you. There's no description of each one, but basically this is coconut. So chocolate covered coconut. Have like a little silver arrow there. You can definitely see that. You can just rip it. Okay, so right. So basically, it's quite nice. This little block. Measure this one. I didn't measure the Cadbury's Heroes one for some reason. I should have probably done, but yeah. So basically, it's mainly I don't know if it matters really. Basically 3.7 centimeters long. It's quite thick. At 1.6 from top to bottom. And width. Again, about 1.7, 1.75, something like that. Let's give it a shot. So, I mean, if you're a coconut fan, I think you'll definitely like this. And if you like Bounties, you'll definitely like this. It's basically milk chocolate covered coconut. Now, me myself, I'm not a fan of coconuts. I think it's a bit like eating shredded paper. I just don't. It's just got that texture that I'm not a big fan of. But I did try the one in the. I think it was the Quality Street. The coconut one in there. It wasn't too bad. Quite chewy. So let's give it a go anyway. Well, it's definitely coconut. It's quite sweet. It's not chewy like the Nestle one, the Quality Street one. It was basically fused together and it was very chewy. It just collapses apart the coconut. Not too bad. It does have that texture that I'm not a big fan of. It tends to dissolve away really in your mouth, and you have to just a little bit of coconut, not much. I think there's obviously some kind of liquid in between it, holding it together in a way, and that kind of disintegrates away in your mouth. It melts in your mouth. Chocolate's not too bad. You get lingering bits of coconut in your mouth. I don't dislike it, but I'm just not a fan of the texture of coconut really. It's okay. The chocolate's quite nice. It's not too bad actually. I think there's definitely worse out there. I think for me, I'm not a big fan of it myself, so 2 out of 5 for me. But I think obviously, if you like coconut, if you like Bounties, it's definitely for you. So yes. Okay, we on to the Milky Way. Milky Way is basically a fluffy nougat sensor covered in milk chocolates. I've reviewed the US one of the Milky Way. It's nothing like this at all. It was a pretty dire chocolate bar. So again, nothing too. Well, it's got like sort of looks a bit like stars, I guess. I assume that's done on purpose intentionally. So tire tracks underneath. I assume the Bounty had those as well. I don't know if I remember showing you that. So in the lengthwise, it's about 3.5 centimeters, top to bottom, at 1.5, and widthwise at 1.7. So it's quite a small bar anyway, the Milky Way, but okay. So you can see it's a fluffy centre. Used to be a dark centre, like sort of like a more of a chocolate coloured centre, but they changed that 15 or so years ago. I'm not sure how long ago it was. So that's just a white centre. So you can see it's like a fluffy. I think it's nougat you'd pronounce it as, but I'm not sure. I'll say it is. Describe it as, but yes, there we go. Not too bad. Okay, let's give it a taste then. Let's say it's like a normal chocolate, a cheap budget chocolate bar, the Milky Way. So, I think probably could be better ones they could include in this selection, but there you go. It is nice though, but no nice chocolate bar, the Milky Way. They're just a bit mundane, I guess. It's okay, nice fluffy centre. The chocolate's quite nice. I'll say the centre's quite nice and fluffy. It's got a very unique-ish texture. I do like it. It's just a bit mundane, really. Yeah, not too bad. I think for me it's one that you could replace. Those last two for me are ones you could replace in the selection. I think. And the rest of them, you couldn't really, but those two probably could for me. Yeah, so anyway, it's Milky Way. It's not too bad though. Something I was going to say about it specifically, but I can't remember. Okay, there we go. We have the Mars bar on now. So I think you'd have to have this in. I think Mars is a bit boring as well, really, but I don't think they could not have it in really. So okay, so not really so much stars, just some kind of top tie tracks on the bottom. They're probably a standard size these actually now. So yeah, about 3.3 this one long. 1.7 wide, and from the top, about 1.5. So Mars bar, for those you know, it's like a fluffy nougat centre, a bit like the Milky Way, but with caramel on top, surrounded in milk chocolate. So it's a bit of a dark one now. I'm sure Milky Ways used to have this kind of fluffy centre, as opposed to the white one you saw before. You can see a caramel on top, surrounded in milk chocolate with the fluffy bottom. Okay, let's give it a go. Not too bad. It's a typical it's a Mars bar basically. It's just got a bit of a mundane taste. I think Mars bars for me definitely benefit from being refrigerated. If you have a cold Mars bar, it's just a different bar again, and I think it just makes the textures work a lot better. But these ones aren't refrigerated, so they're a bit, I don't know, it's just a bit plain really. It's okay, it doesn't really It's basically just a little chunk of Mars bar. It doesn't taste like it's something else, as some of them might. It's okay. I think a 3 out of 5 for me. It's pretty much the average, that I think. I think I forgot to give the Milky Way rating, didn't I? But I think that for me, again, 3 out of 5. It's quite an average bar. So yes, okay, let's try the Snickers one now. So you'd think, or marathon, if you're old enough to remember that in the UK. That's what they used to be called. When I was very young, that's the name they had, but it changed just as I was growing up. So yes, okay, let's give it a look. So again, about 3.5 wide, 1.7 in width. No, just wide, but you know what I mean. And height wise, 1.5. So yeah, so again, slightly different design on top. They all seem to have a bit of a slightly different design. And then tire tracks underneath. By tire tracks, I mean like, the conveyor belt it's on, basically just looks like, just some treads. So let's give it a try. I also want to say about the Milky Way, yeah, there's some of these, whenever I have to take them into work or whatever, where people are sharing them, there's always ones left at the end, and typically Milky Way and Bounties are the ones that are always at the end, and maybe Mars bars and Snickers after that, So there we go, so Snickers bar, in case you don't know, it's basically sort of a bit of a fluffy nougat sense, a bit like the Mars bar, slightly whiter, with caramel and peanut topping covered in milk chocolate. So obviously you don't like peanuts, you won't like these. I'm not a big peanut fan, but I tend to like Snickers. Let's give them a go. It's quite chewy because the peanuts and the caramel are quite thick in this. It makes it quite chewy. I do quite like it actually. I think it's it's still close enough to the Snickers to say, oh yes, it's a Snickers, but I think it does just taste slightly different, a bit more interesting because I think the proportions are slightly different. It does work quite well. I think a 4 out of 5 for me, that one. Yeah, it's not bad at all, that. I like that, yes. Okay, let's try the Galaxy. Basically, the Galaxy is it's just milk chocolate bar, basically like a creamy milk chocolate. This is just one segment of the bar. There you go. So it's got the sort of the G of the Galaxy on there. So it's basically a Galaxy segment. So it doesn't even have the tire tracks, you can see, because it's clearly made in a different way than the others. And it's just scrapes off and put into this selection. So yeah. Cool. So about the noise. So yeah, so clearly this is just going to be solid chocolate. Yeah, it's just solid chocolate inside. Let's give it a go. It's nice. It's It's basically just a segment of Galaxy chocolates. It's got quite a creamy taste. If you love Galaxy, you'll love that. It's no different than the regular Galaxy chocolates. It's a lot creamier than the Cadbury's chocolate. And I don't quite like that as much as Cadbury's chocolate, but it's still very nice. It sort of melts very, very, very soothingly, I guess, on your tongue. I like it. Probably a 3.5, sorry. 3.5, 4 out of 5 for me, that one. And the Galaxy Caramel, basically the same thing, but this time with a layer of caramel in the middle of the chocolate. So again, another segment, the G on it. And no tire tracks underneath because it's clearly created on the Galaxy Caramel production line. So cut it in half. So cut it out easier. So yeah, so basically you can see there, it's quite a big thick layer of caramel. I'm sure this used to be more runny than it is. It's still quite runny, but it's not quite as runny as it was. I'm sure you would in the old days get a massive wisp of, like a whirl of caramel coming out when you did that. So I think they thickened it up a bit. But still not too bad. Let's see, so yeah, well, it is quite liquidy actually, you can see there. Yeah, so maybe it's still the same. Okay, let's give it a go. Yeah, I do definitely prefer this, I can tell you straight away, than the Cadbury's caramel one. It's just less bitter, got smoother caramel. It's really nice now. The chocolate's not great though. It's quite thick, quite thin chocolate. It doesn't really taste too much of Galaxy chocolate because there just isn't as much of it. It still probably is, but it just doesn't quite taste the same. It's okay. And the chocolate lets that one down a bit really. It could do been a bit of a nicer chocolate. But the caramel's good. So I think, again, 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5 or 4 I think. That one. Finally one of the new ones, the Twix. Not wrapped very well here, you can see it's gone silver over there, which should be part of the wrapper. It's obviously been a bit skewiffed. But basically Twix in its bar form is a 2-finger chocolate bar, biscuit bottom with a caramel above that, covered in chocolate. So this is like a little snippet of Twix, so you can see it's got the Twix sort of ribbed top design. You can see there the tyre tracks are back. I think the Twix bar does have these rubber impressions underneath anyway, but for some reason mine's got like a thin line in between as well, so I'm not sure what that's about. But okay, well I'll measure this one because as I say, it's not a standard size one, so yeah, it's about 3.5 centimeters long again, so roughly the same as the Mars and Snickers. 1.5 from top to bottom, and width at 1.9 in this case, maybe 2. Okay, let's give it a cut. Okay, so not bad. So there you go, you can clearly see the caramel top. I think it's a bit of a thicker caramel than the Galaxy caramel we just saw. And the biscuit bottom with the milk chocolate surround. So basically, I think you're just getting, it's just a Twix really. You're not getting too much more variation on that. But yeah, the caramel, I can touch it. It's not sticking to my finger or coming out. It's definitely not a liquid caramel, so it's a different one. This side looks a bit like it's got like a little chocolate bit in the middle, but I think that's a mistake, or just some chocolate somewhere. Doesn't have a chocolate centre, I think that's just a mistake there. Okay, let's give it a go. I do like Twixes. I mean, it's a bit plain, as in a bit normal, every day, but I like the biscuit taste. And the caramel, it does linger in your mouth for quite a time, so it's quite nice and substantial. The chocolate's a bit nondescript. It's okay, it's just nice. It just fills a gap really, and it's got nice textures, and the insides are good. So a 3.5, 4 again out of 5. They're just above average. These, they're not. Don't blow your socks off those ones, but they're just nice to have. Not too bad. And then we go finally the Maltese. Is it a teaser? Yeah, Maltesers teasers, I guess. It's not really. I don't think you can get these in like a bar form. Maybe you can get a bag of these. I'm not sure actually. But the Maltese is basically a sort of aerated, fluffy biscuit centre in a ball shape, covered in milk chocolate. But this isn't the same. It's kind of like little crispy ball pieces inside milk chocolate. So you can see it's got a different design. And again, you'll see no tyre tracks underneath. Funny shape, quite a bit of a dome, this one. 1.8 high, 2 centimeters wide, and lengthwise about 3 centimeters. Quite a lot. Okay. Fly off. There you go. Yeah, so you can see. Okay. That's what's happened there. The dome's come off. Yeah, anyway, you can see there, it's just lots of crispy balls inside. So it's quite nice actually, this. This crispy piece. So it's not like a normal Maltese, it's a completely different chocolate really. So, let's give it a go. Yeah, it's very nice. Has the same taste as Maltese chocolate. It's funny. It's kind of like the Twix chocolate, really. So it's quite a sort of creamy-ish Belgian-y style taste, I guess, but perhaps not quite as expensive tasting, if that makes sense. And the biscuit's got that sort of strange sort of I can't think what the taste is, but it's like got that taste that's a bit sort of, I don't know, oaty, I guess, or barley or something. I'm not really sure, but anyway, yeah. I don't know what the taste is really, but it's not a regular biscuit, but it's nice. It's nice, and it's quite a crispy bar. Bit of chocolate there, so it's got the nice milk chocolate with the crispy bit. So it's not too bad. It's just a bit different. It's not quite a Maltese bit. It's just a bit quirky and different than the regular chocolates you get. All the others are kind of mundane chocolates in this that you get elsewhere, and there's very much everyday chocolates. But that one's a bit different and it's nice. So I think a definite 4 out of 5 for me. That one, 4.5. 4.5 out of 5. It's nice. I do like that. But overall, the set, I think the set is not mean it's in a negative way. It is a mediocre set. This definitely. There's nothing other than that Maltese one. Even that's not really that special. There's nothing special in this set at all. They're all just normal, everyday chocolates. Not doing anything else other than what they actually do elsewhere, really. Other than the Maltese one. So it's very much, does exactly what it says on the tin. I think a 3 out of 5 definitely. It could never be anything more than that because it's just a bit boring. The distribution was a bit rubbish in here as well. I think not too bad, but a bit not too great. You end up with the Milky Ways and Bounties left over. As the 2 week ones, they should be replaced with other things. As I say, the Galaxy Truffle was nice because that was another unique chocolate that you can't buy anywhere else. And I'm sure Mars do loads of other stuff. You could easily replace perhaps the Milky Way with something. But the problem is you can't replace the Mars and the Snickers because they're just too big a brand of Mars to not include in here. But they're a bit boring, really. The whole set is just a bit boring. It's nice to have, nice to nibble on. But there's so many better chocolates out there than these ones. These are not unpleasant. They're just not interesting particularly. So yeah, 3 out of 5, I think. There's just better chocolate selections out there, basically, a bit more exciting, and a bit different, a bit more quirky. I think of this one, you probably just would prefer to have a Mars bar or whatever, really. I think I don't know. I guess it gives you a little bit of taste of little bits of each one, but yeah, they're just okay. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that review. Let me know what you think. Subscribe and follow me on Twitter and things, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. See you soon. Bye. Bye.